आज्ञा दिला मोरे ए ब्रजे बसे हरे आमाको भाना आज्ञा दिला मोरे ए ब्रजे बसे हरि नाम करो गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो साना गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो साना किंतु कावे प्रभु योग्यता पीबे दासे धोया कोरे योग्यता पीबे दासे धोया कोरे चित्त स्थिराबे सकल साहिबो चित्त स्थिराबे सकल साहिबो चित्त स्थिराबे सकल साहिबो एकांत भाजिबो हारे एकांत भाजिबो हारे गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना शैशवा जौवने यदा सुख संगे अभ्यास होएलो मांदा शैशवा जौवने यदा सुख संगे अभ्यास होएलो मांदा निज कर्म दोषे देहा होएलो 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 भजनेरा प्रतिबंधा भजनेरा प्रतिबंधा गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना बाधा क्या रे गुना पंचारोगे हाथा केमने भाजी भोपाला पंचारोगे हाथा केमने भाजी भोपाला बाधा क्या रे गुना पंचारोगे हाथा केमने भाजी भोपाला पंचारोगे हाथा केमने भाजी भोपाला कंदिया कंदिया तुम्हारा चरणे कंदिया कंदिया तुम्हारा चरणे ओदियाची सुविहाला ओदियाची सुविहाला गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना गुरुदेव बोध कृपा करे गौरवाना माजे भद्र में दे अच्छो स्थाना जय Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Atita Pavana Gurudeva Atita Pavana Gurudeva Jaya Atita Pavana Gurudeva Atita
Satyananda Prabhu, you want to sing one bhajan? One bhajan? Yeah.
No.
Okay, Lavanya.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramuri. Page 96.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramuri.
96. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramuri. Oma Bina Kedaya Jagat Samsare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramure Vina Kedaya Jagata Samsare
Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Gosama Patita Prabhu
Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Osama Patita Prabhu Naparideha Mahaprabhu Nityananda Premananda Suki Vipavarokhana Amigo Aya Guru Sitapati Advaita Goswami Bhagavati Prabhupada Chaitanya Daya Guru Sitapati Advaita Goswami Bhagavati Prabhupada Chaitanya Shiva Prabhu Lokana Jaya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sanghamage Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sanghamage Narodamata Jaya Prabhupada Shri Ekadasi-tithi Vaishnavena Kripa Doya Koro Prabhupada Sita Vaishnavena Kripa Jaya Guru Deva Patita Pavana Shikarane Seva Mage Doya Guru Deva Patita Pavana Sitarane Seva Mage Epadika Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora More Jagata Samsara Jaya Sachidanand Jaya Murari Sachidanand Jaya Jaya Sachidanand Jaya Murari Sachidanand Jaya Murari Jaya Supriya Pranadana Murari Supriya Pranadana Jaya Supriya Pranadana Murari Supriya Pranadana Murari Tatu Narottama Tatu Narottama Narottama Tatu Tatu Narottama Tatu Narottama Narottama Tatu Nitai Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura
Today is auspicious day of Ekadashi. You know Ekadashi? You don't know. Okay. Anyway, this is day of Lord Hari, special day of Shri Krishna. We also maintain fast from grains. We'll tell the story why. But we'll sing the song now. Shuddha Bhakata Charanare, no? So please find. Ekadashi is also mentioned there. And then after that we'll sing Hare Krishna. Anyone else coming or not?
Yes, please.
More people coming. So anyway, by 7 we'll start more or less.
260.
216. Two calls.
Thank you.
This is gold, but this sweater is too heavy. Oh, it's My glasses were somewhere. Oh, yeah. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamola. Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamola. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Madhava-tithi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. Madhava-tithi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Paramaya Dare Bari. Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Paramaya Dare. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Gaurayamara se sabastani Karala Brahmana Range. Gaurayamara se sabastani Karala Brahmana Range. Se sabastana heri boyami pranai bhakata sange. Se sabastana heri boyami pranai bhakata sange. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Vedangavadya Shunityamana Avasara Sadajache. Mridangavadya Shunityamana Avasara Sadajache. Kaura Vihito Kirtana Suni Anande Hridoyanache. Kaura Vihito Kirtana Suni Ananda Hridoyanache. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanayanu Kula. Yugala Murti Dekhiya Mora Paramayananda Hoya. Yugala Murti Dekhiya Mora Paramayananda Hoya. Prasada Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Prapancha Jaya. Prasada Seva Korite Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Sudha Bhakata Charana Egina Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihete Doloka Baya Egina
Bhajana deki, priyate golaka bhaya.
Charana Sidhu Dekhiya Ganga Sukhana Sima Paya Charana Sidhu Dekhiya Ganga Sukhana Sima Paya Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Tulasi Deki Juraya Prana Madhava Toshani Jane Tulasi Deki Juraya Prana Madhava Toshani Jane Gaura Priya Shaka Sevani Jivana Sartakamani Gaura Priya Shaka Sevani Jivana Sartakamani Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Bhakti Vinoda Krishna Bhajane Anukula Paya Jaha Bhakti Vinoda
Krishna bhajane, anukula bhaya.
Prati Divase Param Sukhe Sikhara Karayatha Prati Divase Param Sukhe Sikhara Karayatha Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamola Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamola Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanaya Nukula Jaya Madhavatithi Jaya Ekadashi Madhavatithi Jaya Ekadashi Jaya Jaya Hari Vasar Jaya Ekadashi Hari Vasar Jaya Ekadashi Jaya Hari Vasar Jaya Ekadashi Hari Vasar Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare together Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare together Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Ekadasi-tithi ki jai, Madhava-tithi ki jai, Shri Bhakti Janani Ekadasi-tithi ki jai, Paramarajitam Guru Padma ki jai, Rupanuga Guriya Guru Varga ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om. Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Mabadivicha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kaloho Kalmashanashaya Jannavapataye Namaha Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya Vishwambaro Dvijvaro Jugadharma Palo Vande Jagatpriya Karo Karanavataru Kanakachala Dagatro Nilashonab Janetro Mrigamadavara Balo Malatikunda Malo Taralataru Navesho Nilapitam Varesho Smaranibrita Nikunje Radhika Krishna Chandra Tavaivasmi Najivamitvaya Vina Niti Vigayarade Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, my unlimited dandavats, pranamas to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Nikhil Prishtam Vishnupadas Tutra Satya Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudev Om Vishnupadas Tutra Satya Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. All Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga means chain of disciplic succession from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here you see, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. And all chain of disciplic succession, Guru Parampara, coming from him. My dandavats, my obeisances to them. Also to dear devotees and guests in Watford, in Rasaraj Dham, the abode of Rasaraj, the king of Rasa, Krishna, the servant of the abode of Rasa, Krishna. So very, very happy. I remember your family. We were here a couple of years ago. So today is the blessed day, Ekadashi. Eka means 1 and Dasha means 10. So 11th day of the moon. Every fortnight, every 2 weeks, we celebrate this day. This day has a very, very special glory and very, very special power, you know. Ekadashi, you know, Tulsi Devi, you know, you also belong to Indian culture, right? More or less. So Tulsi Devi, Ekadashi, Vaishnava, the holy Tithi celebration, Krishna's appearance, etc. So this is all actually Krishna. This belongs to Krishna. Either Krishna himself or his energies, his Shaktis. So this is like parts of Krishna's body. So we have to celebrate. We don't neglect these days. So specifically, Ekadashi is a fast, day of fast. But more significant than fasting is certainly very significant, but more significant than fasting is performing bhakti or devotional service on this day. So our constitutional position is to become a pure servant of the Supreme Lord, better late than never. Ki Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. So, Jivara Swarupahaya Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Ratatasta Shakti Beda Bed Prakash. So, Krishna's, Jiva, the Swarupa, the eternal function of the living entity, of the Jiva soul, is to become servant, pure servant of Krishna. See? So, this is the reason why we hang this map today. You can see. We're from here, from this material world. We were manifested long, long ago from the glance of Mahavishnu. When Krishna experiences desire to create, then Mahavishnu manifests, and he is the manager of all creation. So from his transcendental glance, innumerable living entities evolve, they come. So they serve as the impregnating agent of this world. That's why everything is alive here. So by the power of his Jiva Shakti, or the energy of living entity, he disseminates the Jivas, the living entities in this material world. That's why innumerable living entities in 8,400,000 species of life are here. But those who have received human body are very special, Hare Krishna. So those who have received human body are very special, because dharme nahina pashubir samana. Without dharma, without following the path of religion, living human being is no better than two-legged animal, actually. Dharme nahina pashubir samana. Yeah? Hitopadesh is saying. The book of moral codes, Hitopadesh, is saying that without the faculty of dharma, means following the transcendental devotion to the Lord, living entity in the human form is no longer than dvipanda pashu, means two-legged animal. That's it. Eating, let's ahara nidra bhaya maitunamcha. Four functions. Sadhu Maharaj ki jai. Four functions. Sorry, 10th. I think it's 10th day. Which day? A very intense tour, so that's why non-stop, every day new location. Okay, so I'm still flying or driving somewhere. Sorry, through jams. Okay, so so the four functions of life, both animals and human. Ahara nidra bhaya maitunamcha. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Right. So it's very strange for a person who spends time or comes from the East, let's say India especially, the center point of all Vedic culture, to observe the activities of the residents of the West. Mostly these four functions: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Especially defending. It's my territory. Get off! Private property. So too much. Yes. So if some intruder comes, they start barking. Yeah. But a dog doesn't go to church, doesn't go to temple, because doesn't know. Spontaneous. Somebody posted video on our broadcast group. A cow comes to the temple, and the pujari gives some blessing from the deities to the cow. Then cows does parikrama, around it. So they have some special, to say, consciousness. But generally, the path of bhakti, pure devotional service, is for people, is for human beings. Although, this is jaiva dharma, the constitutional activity of every living being, but specifically human form is very, very significant in that regard. It's meant for practicing dharma. So without this dharma, without the selfless devotional service to the Lord, human is like two-legged animal. So this day of Ekadashi is specifically meant, has specific blessings for performing devotional service. What is devotional service? 64 limbs, but out of them 9 are most important. The great devotee Prahlad, Prahlad, you heard, said, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam Itipam Sarpita Vishnu Bhaktishchan Navalakshana Kriyatam Bhagavat Yadha Tadvanyeditam Uttamam. So most important are these 9 limbs of devotional service: Shravanam, hearing; Kirtanam, chanting; Smaranam, remembering. So these 3 and 6 others, I'll make long story short. So these 3, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering, most important. So that's why we constantly engage in that. We try to constantly engage, even when we're driving, we sing Govind. Gurudev was showing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. When the baby is crying, don't say, don't cry, don't cry. Say, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. You know this, Radhe Radhe. In Vrindavan, they always say Radhe Radhe. So chanting of the holy name is the main process. Nama Sankirtan, Nama Sankirtan. These names are not ordinary. This mantra is called Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Mahamantra means the great song of deliverance of your mind. mind is very much polluted. Like if you have, for example, an old mirror or an old carpet fully covered with dust. Not only dust, grease mixed with dust. So in the mirror you cannot see anything. You cannot see your reflection. Very, very dim reflection. But you heard from your great-grandmother, the possessor of mirror, that it has image, it must have image. So your family tradition may say, oh, this bhakti is very good way, very good path. So you may want, to check, oh, it must be very valuable if my parents, grandparents, and my predecessors were engaging in this path. So you may try to clean the mirror, but you understand it's very greasy surface mixed with layers of dust over dozens of years. So you need really some liquid, cleaning liquid with good concentration and a lot of rubbing, maybe several hours with gloves, but you have stamina, so you're determined to see what's the mirror showing. And finally, after a few hours, you see your image very, very clearly. So this is the process of bhakti, shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam. So the first effect of bhakti, first effect of practicing of devotion is chetadarpana marjana, means the clearing of the mirror of your heart. This heart very much polluted. Why? Do you know why? Because of material desires. These material desires from time immemorial. As a result, were covered by ignorance. 3 modes? Sattva, rajas, tamas. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. 3 modes of material nature. 3 faculties of Maya, illusion. So that's why instead of our image in the mirror, we see some semblance, or we just see nothing. The layer is so thick that we have to really remove. So that is the process of bhakti. Even a small engagement in this process brings supreme delight. If I ask you confidentially if you felt something today, I think you would say yes. You felt something, because this is not an ordinary song, mundane song, glorifying lust of this world. This is not any song about beauties of this world, as they glorify this world, how this world is beautiful, But the actual beauty comes from Krishna, comes from spiritual world, spiritual sky. You see, in this upper sphere, he is Satchid Ananda. Satchid Ananda means embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And as Jiva souls, who are also particles of spirit, we also have those 3 elements, Sat, Chit, Ananda, eternity, knowledge, and bliss, but to minor proportion, like rather a potential to be developed. So we are totally spiritual, actually. We have nothing to do with this world. We are foreigners in this world, So, for example, you're all of Indian origin and you were born, most of you, in UK. So once, as you grow a bit older, like 5-6 years, then parents saying, oh, we will go now to our motherland. And you're surprised. Well, wait a minute, but this is my motherland. I was born here. No, we'll show you your real motherland, your spiritual motherland, your, inherited motherland. You belong to there. And they take you to India. They take you to India, and you see your culture, you see your roots, you see the beauties of great spirituality. Your predecessors were practicing, so you become very much interested. Actually, that is my roots, those are my roots, and this is my practice, like this. So for soul in this material world also, the time comes when by dint of the incomparable mercy of the great personalities, gurus, great sages, the soul becomes interested in spiritual matters. И Bhaktisto Bhagavad Bhaktas Sangena Parijayate Satsanga Prapite Pumbhir Sukritai Purva Sanchitai. By the amount of sukritis, of devotional merits accumulated from the past, hearing, chanting, remembering, or doing some seva, service by chance, consciously, unconsciously, great amount of spiritual merits accumulated. You might have served some old man, helped him cross the road, and he happened to be a holy man. So by how to say, yes, by lucky chance, you had that opportunity, and okay, this is great merit for you, like this. So many things like this, especially if that was the day of Ekadashi, like this. So many stories. But let us see how this day of Ekadashi manifested in this material world. Actually, Ekadashi-tithi is a Shakti of Krishna, is a transcendental energy of Krishna. So many stories. Long time ago, there was a demon called Mura, Asur, Mura. So everybody was very much afraid of him. Can you close the door to the kitchen because they're talking there? Oh, then they will not hear. Anyway, if they want to hear, they will open the door. No problem. So that Mura was so dangerous. Lord Vishnu was fighting with him. And then Lord Vishnu was sick of that. He was tired, so he left. And Mura said, "Ah, you have become Ranchor." Ranchor means he left the battlefield. But he went to some cave and took rest. And then Mura wanted, those demons are quite stupid. They think that they can kill Lord Vishnu. So he wanted to kill Lord Vishnu, but then Lord Vishnu was in divine slumber. So he was sleeping. So from the transcendental body of Vishnu, a great maiden evolved. And that maiden was shining, and she was also like a warrior. She was having celestial divine weapons in her hand. So she severed the head of the demon. So then Vishnu arose from his slumber, from his sleep. "Oh maiden, who are you?" As if not knowing. But that was like a lila pastime. So, "Oh, I'm your devoted servant, maidservant, so please bestow your mercy upon me." "Yes, I will give you a very special name, Ekadashi. You will be known as a lunar day, 11th lunar day, every fortnight, every dark and bright part of the month. So those who glorify me on that day will receive great mercy, my great mercy. So as a result, you will be as well known in this world as myself. You will be very well known in this world." So therefore, since then, everybody is observing Ekadashi. But there's another story in one of the Puranas about how Ekadashi was manifested. So in the very beginning, when the Supreme Lord created this world, he created many living entities, and he saw, oh, actually all these living entities will be performing sinful activities. So yesterday in our program, one new friend asked, "Can you say what sin is? What is sin? Can you say?" I said in a funny way, I said, like in football, playing with your hands is sinful. And when a goalkeeper is playing with his hands outside of the area, yes, yeah, so that is also sinful. So when you violate the rules, that is sinful. So you get yellow card, red card, and you're disqualified finally for non-sportive activities, and etc. So these are like sins. So living entities are thinking in this material world that this world belongs to them, and they are the proprietors of this world. That's what they're thinking. So as a result, great calamities come. So the Supreme Lord was pondering, and since he was pondering so deeply, immediately a horrible personality evolved, Papa Purush. personification of sin. Terrible black person, tall, yellow eyes, terribly looking, just terrible. All sins were the parts of his body. Just listen what he was looking like. His head was made of the sin of murdering a Brahmana. The high priest, Brahmana. His 2 eyes were the form of the sin of drinking intoxicants. His mouth was made of the sin of stealing gold. His ears were the form of the sin of having illicit connection with a spiritual master's wife. His nose of the sin of killing one's wife. His arms the form of the sin of killing a cow. Head of killing a Brahmana. Arms of killing a cow already, quite a terrible personality. So his neck made of the sin of stealing accumulated wealth. His chest of the sin of abortion. You see, people do it left and right. Catholics trying to prevent, very good. But still people are doing, they're thinking it's a lump of flesh. No, it's a murder of your own child. So his lower chest of the sin of having sex with another's wife. His stomach of the sin of killing one's relatives. His navel of the sin of killing those who are dependent on him. His waist of the sin of self-appraisal. His thighs of the sin of offending the guru. His genital of the sin of selling one's daughter. His buttocks of the sin of telling confidential matters. His feet of the sin of killing one's father. And his hair of the form of less important sins like this. The terrible personality of all. So Supreme Lord was just horrified by his own creation. What is that? So then he understood that all those sinners who are intensely in touch with the objects of the senses will have to perform sinful activities, so they have to be punished. There must be another personality who will punish them. So out of the body of the Supreme Lord came Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. Yamaraj, you heard. So after one leaves one's body, one goes to Yamalok, a normal person, not connected with pure devotional service, bhakti path. So he goes to Yamaraj, and if that person was pious, Yamaraj is very welcoming. So, oh sir, please welcome. Here, take this asana seat, You will go to very, very wonderful celestial places for your pious activities. You will be able to enjoy there for many, many years, celestial years. And if that person was sinful, then you'll go to hell, you'll go to Narakaloka. In Narakaloka, you'll be boiled in oil, you'll be pierced by so many types of weapon. And in Mathura, there's temple of Yamuna Yamaraj. Yamuna and Yamaraj, the river Yamuna and Yamaraj are brothers. They're a brother and sister. They're both children of sun god, Suryaputra, Suryaputri. So people come to them. There's one day called Bratridvitiya, when brothers and sisters come to Yamuna Yamaraj. That's during Kartik. We don't celebrate particularly, but people come anyway. So they, hand in hand, brothers and sisters, ask, Yamuna Devi. They take bath and they ask Yamuna Devi. They go to temple Yamuna Yamaraj. Oh Devi, please say some good words about me to your brother, so that I'm not. And in the temple there are so many pictures, like bas reliefs, depicting the consequences of sinful activities. If one was eating meat, then one is cut to pieces alive, like Narakaloka. If one was humiliating others, exploiting people, so he is made a horse, and they, what do they do? Whip him. They whip him and come on. He's all covered with scars like this, etc. If one was drinking alcohol, then one is tied to a tree and red hot lead is being given to him into his throat. And if someone was doing the illicit relationship with the opposite sex, then he's forced to copulate with a red hot lady, by force. Yamaraj is come on, like this. Terrible. So Yamuna frees from those sins, but anyway, for us Vaishnavas, at once I want to say, the goal of the practice is not to be freed from our sins. No, we're not doing that for that reason. For which reason, I will tell a bit later. So, then Yamaraj was administering all kinds of punishments for the sinners, and then the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, wanted to visit him once. So Yamaraj accepted him in his kingdom, gave him an honorable seat on the throne, washed his feet, and then all of a sudden the Supreme Lord heard some loud shouts, cries, from the Narakaloka, from way down. Once I saw one video, somebody managed to record some sounds from hell. Those were the shouts, terrible shouts. Like, I don't know if it's true or wrong, but anyway, the sound was just terrible. So those sounds the Supreme Lord heard, and what are those sounds? Oh Lord, you know, those are the shouts of terrible amount of people being punished for their sins. So then the Supreme Lord started pondering, okay, this path of karma, this path of, especially vikarma, means bad activities, is like a circle which has no end. So you go to hell, then you are punished, and then you are back. After you're back, you go through animal species like dogs, etc. And then you're born in a very bad family, you know, where you're humiliated and you have to engage in sinful activity like selling meat, for example, or alcohol, like this, all life. So like this. So the Supreme Lord was thinking, oh, I have to create some way for people to be freed from that. And then through his meditation, from his transcendental body, a great lady came. That Ananta is already dreaming of her, right? Okay. So that lady was called Ekadasi-tithi. Ekadasi-tithi, again, that same beautiful, shining lady. And she worshipped the lotus feet of the Lord. How can I serve you? Oh, your name will be Ekadashi. Your name will be Ekadashi. And I'll give you the day of 11th day of the moon. And Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha means the dark and bright period, part of the month. So those people who fast on that day, those people who engage in all devotional activities, will gain bhakti, will gain causeless devotion. So many people started observing Ekadashi, and massively, by observing Ekadashi, they were going straight from here. You see this line of Maidov, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, going to spiritual world. So massively they were glorifying the Supreme Lord, massively they were going to Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, the places of spiritual world from which there's no return, and the supreme eternity, knowledge, and bliss always manifested there. So then Papa Purush became very frustrated. He became actually broken-hearted because he lost his job, he lost his seva, service. If you lose your job, okay, you can survive. But if you lose your like constitutional engagement, which is like typical, you know. However, you know, mother feels losing her child, or father, you know, like this. So to be mother and father, so natural. Father, son and daughter goes, terrible feeling. So, what you can compare to the grief Papa Purusha was feeling. He was feeling great grief. I cannot serve you, Supreme Lord. I cannot serve you. And Ekadashi-tithi was burning him by her effulgence, by her influence. He was being burned. So he was completely miserable. And from that burning, you know, if you're being burned, you know, by something like fire, so you're trying to escape, you're trying to hide. So he was trying to hide underwater, in the caves, in the mountains, in the deserts, in the fields, in the hills, among the hills, in the sea, in the ocean, everywhere. Okay, so he went to heavenly planets, he went to underworld Netherlands to the Netherlands, lower planets, called Netherlands sometimes in literature. So he was trying to hide himself unsuccessfully. The burning was terrible, so he came to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord directly, like, "Oh, please save me, save me, save me." "Oh, Papa Purush, what's wrong?" "Oh, Ekadashi Devi has such great influence. I'm being burnt Ananta everywhere, being burnt everywhere. So, okay, I'll give you shelter. I know how to engage you in service." Everybody must have service to Krishna. If one has no service, then it's a matter of great, great grief. "I will give you a place in food grains." Food grains. So on Ekadashi day, 11th day of the moon, the first and the second half of the month, there are 28 days in moon months. So on Ekadashi days, you will be situated in grains. So those people who eat grains will get all of the results of the sins of all humanity, which will be contained in your body. So Papa Purusha sits in grains on Ekadashi day. So today is Ekadashi. So our dear friends, new friends, your names are? Sajan and Varna. So Sajan is a beautiful name. It's like Sajan means holy man. So you have to become Sajan. You have to become Sajan. So start from Ekadashi, start from today. It's not accidental. You came here today on Ekadashi. It's not accidental. You're hearing the glories of Ekadashi, you know. So the results of activities of bhakti today are counted millions, not thousands even, millions times more. Millions times more. It's a great, 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 great merit. So you'll finish your day with Ekadashi feast today. No grains, anything else but no grains. And then your bhakti will start, and you were singing today. It's a great, great devotional merit. If you like, would be very, very nice. And if you would chant every day on beads, that will bring you great, great joy, great success in life on all spheres, actually. But start from Ekadashi. Start from Ekadashi day, you know. So in the past, great kings achieved great, great success while following Ekadashi, and one of the very well-known stories is the story of Maharaj Ambarisha. Maharaj Ambarisha was a great devotee of the Lord. He was residing in Mathura, you know, on the bank of Yamuna. Sometimes we go there. So Maharaj Ambarish and his wife, they were following the vow of Ekadashi constantly, but Haribol Ananta. But they were following Ekadashi one time during 1 year. 1 year they were following constantly. And on the following day, Dvadashi, 12th day, you know, Ekadashi, 11th day, and Dvadashi, 12th. So in the morning of Dvadashi, it's necessary to break Ekadashi with some grains. At some certain astrological period, maybe an hour or two, sometimes 3, 4, and sometimes just 3 or 5 minutes. So in some areas tomorrow, you know, I saw one area, in one area 6 minutes only. And in another area, you cannot believe, 1 minute. During 1 minute, you should break Ekadashi fast. So it's like this, according to astrology. When you break Ekadashi with some grain, then the fast will be considered successful. So this is like final procedure, you know, like you build a building and then you don't cut the, what's that? Ribbon. If you don't cut the ribbon, it's not open. Or you create, how to say, you cook a wonderful tart, you know, a wonderful, what's that called, a pie, and you don't put a cherry on top. So what's, or you build a temple and you don't put a cross or a chakra, you don't put it. So everything but not the main thing. So it's like not really, like 99%, like you're downloading something and 99, 99, 99, and it's not downloaded because something is lacking and it's not going to 100. So unsuccessful. Oh no. So So if you don't break Ekadashi on the next morning, then all Ekadashi is not counted to be successful. Anyway, some attempts the Lord certainly sees, but the result is like, oh, please come another time. Sorry, exam is not counted. So, all right. So, Maharaj Ambarish on Dvadashi performed so many pious activities, right? So he made. First of all, like what he was doing. Maharaj Ambarish. There's a great story, great verses about what he was doing every day. We didn't quote that Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor Vacham Sivai Kuntha Gunanu Varnane Karo Harir Mandiramarjana Disu Shrutim Chaka Rachyuta Satkathodaye Mukundalingalaya Darshane Drisho Tadbritya Gaur Gatra Sparshanga Sangamam Grihanam Tat Padas Saroja Saurabe Srimatulasya Rasanam Tadarpite Pado Harikshetra Padanu Sarpane Shiro Shrishikesha Padadbhi Vandane Kamam Chadasye Natu Kama Kamyaya Yathuttama Shloka Janashraya Rati. What was Maharaj Ambarish doing? He was doing all kinds of devotional service, more than 9, actually there are 64, but let's listen what he was doing. Maharaj Ambarish always engaged his mind in meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, his words in describing the glorious activities of the Lord, his hands in cleaning the Lord's temple, his ears hearing of the words speaking by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke, or about Krishna, Bhagavad, Srimad Bhagavad. So he engaged his eyes in seeing the deity. We're also, it's the reason why we hang it, the deities. We can look. This is Radha. This is Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu. So he engaged a sense of touch in touching the bodies of Lord's devotees. We embrace each other sometimes. So engaged a sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of tulsi and the flower garlands offered to the Lord. So he engaged his tongue in tasting Krishna's prasad. We'll soon engage in that today also. So engaged his legs in walking in the holy places, circumambulating the temples, and bowing down. His head he was using for bowing down to the Lord, and his desires used in service to the Lord 24 hours a day. He was doing that 24 hours, even sleeping, dreaming of the Lord, everything. So this can be compared, if you're strongly in love, and you can only think of your beloved. But since material world, it becomes after some time boring, and the opposite effect. But with the Lord, the situation is quite different. Opposite. Never you become bored. But devotees are looking at me. Never can become bored. What to do? Maya is acting, the mood of ignorance, mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance brings us mood of ignorance. We become affected and we say, again chanting Hare Krishna, again going to the bathroom. No, 4 o'clock. Crazy. But the sun is up. Oh yes, intelligence is saying sun is up. It's time. Okay, it's time. Otherwise, Guru will not be pleased with me. Oh, that's another thing. Is devotional life. So we're forcing ourselves right now. But Maharaj Ambarish was on another level. So being a devotee means being constantly in love. Like when you're constantly in love, you are not able to forget the object of your love, and you're serving in all possible means, like Maharaj Ambarish was doing. So when the month of Kartik came, the month of Kartik, very important, then Maharaj Ambarish and his wife were finishing that great vow. So they made all auspicious activities, and then they noticed that the great sage Durvasa came to his kingdom, came to his door. So immediately Maharaj Ambarish stood up to receive the honorable guests. Durvasa is a great Muni, great sage, but also his mood is quite strong, you know. If he blesses someone, that is for good. If he curses someone, also for good. You know Kunti, Krishna's auntie. So Durvasa blessed Kunti. Oh, I'll give you a mantra. You can summon any demigod, you know. So the first demigod who came was Suryadev, and then secretly Karna was born. So anyway, so that was by Durvasa. So then Durvasa came. Immediately Maharaj Ambarish offered him a seat and paraphernalia for worship. So then he wanted to give him some feast. But Durvasa said, no, first I'll go to the Yamuna and take a bath. So, and you prepare everything. You can keep it open if you're not speaking. Keep it open, no problem. So, yeah, also ventilation is important. So Maharaj Ambarish went to take bath in Yamuna, but in the meantime, the last moments of the period of breaking fast came. The last moment came. So Maharaj Ambarish had to break the fast. Because otherwise the whole result of his following that vrata, that vow, would become nil. So, on the other hand, breaking fast means taking something. But how can you take something when you have a normal guest in your house? You cannot take anything while your guest is in your house. So first you have to feed the guest. So then, therefore, Maharaj Ambarish was in a great dilemma, how to act. So then he took, you keep it open, no problem. They should hear in the kitchen. Yeah, if they don't make noise, then it's all right. Just keep it open. So then Maharaj Ambarish consulted his Brahmana, his high priest, what to do. And Brahmana said, actually, if you take some water and some charanamrit, you know, some holy water from the lotus feet of the Lord, when the feet of the Lord were washed, if you take that water, then it's considered simultaneously to be taking something and not taking, like eating and not eating, or drinking and not drinking, actually. So then Maharaj gave prevalence to that. He said, oh, then bhakti will be respected, then devotion will be respected. If we practice devotion, then everybody is satisfied. So even if a guest is in your house, you perform your duty. Anyway, he's waiting, he's doing something, but you have to perform your duty, like Ekadashi, breaking fast. Oh, definitely then the guest will also benefit. But Durvasa Muni could not understand, because he was not, at that time, he was not like 100% devotee. He was a jnani, you know, like meditating on the impersonal absolute. You know, this white light, it's Brahma Jyoti. So he was meditating on impersonal absolute mostly. So he could not understand the meaning of Ambarish Maharaj's action. He was not understanding the importance of, okay, keep it, no problem. They're not talking, let them hear. So he was not understanding the importance of keeping the vow. So that's why he became very furious, right? He said, oh, you're a very low person. What kind of king are you? You're not respecting your guest properly. How dare you take something before me? So then he took a hair out of his head, threw it on the ground, and a great fiery demon appeared. Great fiery demon. So, great fiery demon was ready to punish Maharaj Ambarish, was ready to burn Maharaj Ambarish to ashes. But Maharaj Ambarish was standing with his folded hands and silently waiting for the Lord's will to be fulfilled. He was not really reacting. So then immediately, Sudarshana Chakra, the Lord's transcendental disc, appeared at that place. You know, because Sudarshana decorates every temple of Vishnu. That's his highest weapon. Nobody can really resist Sudarshana Chakra. It's Krishna's invincible weapon. So therefore, Sudarshana Chakra immediately burned the fiery demon to ashes and turned towards Durvasa Muni. The demon's father, demon came from him. So Durvasa was trembling out of fear, and he fled. He fled all across the universe. So Sudarshana Chakra was moving towards him, and he was running, and Sudarshana Chakra was trying to get Durvasa, but Durvasa was still a great mystic, so he fled everywhere, in all directions, in the sky, on the surface of earth, in caves, in the ocean, different planets, the rulers of the three worlds. He could fly everywhere, great mystic. And even on the heavenly planets, but wherever he went, he immediately saw following him the unbearable fire of Sudarshana Chakra. Sudarshana was just following him. So with a fearful heart, Durvasa went here and there, taking shelter, but he couldn't find shelter, so finally he went to the highest authority in the universe, Lord Brahma, highest authority of the universe. Oh, please save me. Kindly protect me from the blazing Sudarshana Chakra, sent by Bhagavan, Supreme Personality. So Lord Brahma said, well, I cannot really give you a shelter, because when the pastimes of the Lord in creation come to an end, I have to finish my life also. The lifetime of Lord Brahma is like, you cannot really place in any calculator. It's like, I don't know how many digits, about maybe 20 digits, his lifetime. So 1 day of Brahma is like 4,320 million years, and life and the night is the same, so 8,440,640 million. It's 1 day. And 360 days in 1 year, and 100 years he lives, so you can count. So then he went to Lord Shiva. Actually, Durvasa is the incarnation of Lord Shiva, so he came to his origin, Lord Shiva. So he said, oh, please give me shelter, give me shelter. And Lord Shiva said, my dear son, I, Lord Brahma, and other demigods who rotate within the universe under the misconception of our greatness, cannot exhibit any power to compete with the Supreme Personality. We're just powerless comparing to the Supreme Personality, so it cannot really help you. So, although we're so powerful, we know past, present, and future, we are the masters of mysticism, and so many great qualities we have, still we're under the Supreme Lord, so you have to fly to the Supreme Lord. So then Durvasa came to Lord Narayana and presented the matter to him, and Lord Narayana said very wonderful verses, 6 verses he uttered. Aham bhakta paradhino hyasvatantra ivadvija sadhubirghasta hridayo bhaktar bhakta janapriyaha. I am completely under the control of my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino. Asvatantra, I am not independent. Swatantra means independent. Aswatantra means I'm not independent, I'm fully dependent on them. Yes. So, my devotees are completely devoid of all material desires, and I sit only in their hearts. So, the heart, chitta, the subtlemost element. So, your heartfelt desire is sitting there. At the time of death, that desire is present there in the concentrated way, and it carries you to the next body. What's your desire? Like if you sometimes when we are meditating, we can put our hand on our heart and ask, what is our most cherished desire, really what I really want? If it's within this material world, you'll go to another material body. I want to become like great musician, great this, president, something. Then you go to those facilities who will let you fulfill your desires. And the Lord in the heart, Paramatma, also will fulfill that. But if you have nothing but desire to serve the Supreme Lord, then definitely we'll go to that place where we will be serving Supreme Lord. So Lord Narayan continued, Nahamatmanamashase madbhaktai sadubir vina shriyam chatyantikam brahman yesham gatir aham para. Without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulences. You see what the Lord is saying? Pay attention. You know, the Supreme Lord is full of opulences. He is full of great, great possessions, great, great abodes. But alone without his devotees, he doesn't want to enjoy that. Krishna is greedy to experience rasa, great, great taste within the hearts of his devotees. And he's very much dependent on his devotees. Bhakta Vatsalya, he loves his devotees. Without his devotees, he is not eager to enjoy even his kingdom. What is the meaning of his kingdom without devotees? Empty house, Like you alone live in a huge house of like 12 bedrooms and huge halls and this and that, gardens and this and that. Completely alone. No family members, not even servants, no one. So will you be happy? No. Solitude, loneliness. So even the Lord is like this. So further he said, since pure devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me, without any desire for material improvement in this life or the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time? So that's why Krishna appreciates the movements of devotees' hearts so much. Like your son has become a devotee of Krishna. But since you are pious, you understand the value of devotional life, you're internally happy. Externally, maybe something coming. Anyway, well, luckily he's not a brahmachari. At least if he was a brahmachari like other boys, and parents would be like externally a bit like, what's going on? But inside, actually happy because they know the value of spiritual life. But you see, the Lord is saying here, we have to pay attention. This verse is very important for all parents, actually. To understand the position of devotees. What Krishna is saying, Lord Narayan is saying here about his devotees. Have you heard? My pure devotees, he is saying, have left their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, even their lives to serve me. You see, when you come to this movement, you see, oh, very nice, chant Hare Krishna and be happy, nice prasad, everything nice. But then you realize one thing, Lavanya, where's Purusha? He's still cooking. Yeah, no problem. You realize you have to give your life. So then the Lord will accept you like his own. There's another verse, when you receive Diksha, you receive initiation. Yeah. Atma Samarpan, Krishna Atmasan. When you take initiation, then Krishna accepts you as your own, his own. You become his property, depending on your surrender. Yetamam prapadyantetam stativam bhajamyam. Krishna is saying in Gita, the more one surrenders to me, the more I reveal myself. I reveal accordingly. Can you just kill those phones temporarily? Thank you very much. So thank you very much. So depending on our devotion, the reaction will be according. Right? Even Krishna will give more. Gurudev, our Guru Maharaj, spiritual master, was saying amazing things. If one gives one step towards me, I'll give 100. It's Lord Nityananda. One step, one little step. We're very small, insignificant, also so much bewildered by Maya, illusion, energy of Kali. So if we want one little step, then definitely, like a little child, comes to father and cannot speak but shows his desire. Hey. Certainly, yes. Oh, please have. Oh, come here, kid, on my lap. Oh, good boy. I'll give you this. I'll give you. So happy. Yes, but the initial desire, I want. Then the Lord definitely fulfills. So these are 6 verses of Lord Narayan to Durvasa. To Durvasa. So he's saying, as chaste women bring their gentle husbands under control by service, The pure devotees who are equal, can you just kill them? Thank you. So the pure devotees who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of the heart, bring me under their full control. So wives control their husbands, then women, yes, the pure devotees control me. Krishna is saying, I'm controlled by my devotees. Yeah. And my devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my devotional service are not interested even in the 4 principles of liberation. When you go to Vaikuntha, these planets, then you achieve liberation of 4 kinds, like 4, how to say, directions, yeah, of that liberation. Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, and Sarishti. Salokya means residing on the same planet, Loka. Sarupya means having the same rupa form, 4-handed. You know, Narayana is 4-handed. Devotees also 4-handed there. And they reside in the same abode, Vaikuntha Loka. Then Samipya, having same riches as the Lord, you know, they're enjoying opulence. And then Sarishti means in close vicinity, very close to the Lord. So these 4. So this is liberation in a sense of bhakti, devotional service. Many people strive for impersonal liberation, they want melting, to melt. But we're not talking about that. For a devotee, this is like a suicide, you know. You lose your existence, you melt. You know, but you can never melt because you're jiva, you're spark. Spark can never melt. If you put spark to water, what will be? You know, sound. So that's in natural situation. So that's why we have to serve, we have to be participants of that rasa, of that great, how to say, spiritual, yes, like spiritual festival, we can say, festival. So much joy, you know, so much ecstasy, right? So festival in this world, when you look at, oh, people are having fun, they're having a party, it's like manifestation of Rajaguna, means passion. So after passion in the morning, what comes? Ignorance, headache, intense headache. You cannot really see this world anymore. Ooh, don't show me this. Again, gray, Monday, you know what? Okay, but in spiritual world, this festival, this rasa, so devotees are having great ananda, bliss there. So the devotee, Krishna also, you know, he's the proprietor of that house. And when there's so many devotees in the house, so many great pastimes are going on. So Krishna is so much enthusiastic. And finally he's giving his conclusion. There's a great verse. Sadhava hridayam mayam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyatena jananti naham dipyo managapi. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. So the Lord said today, you see, I mean, we're hearing this today, and the Lord said, so by hearing these things, Maharaj Durvasa Muni, not Maharaj, Durvasa Muni became very much morose. He could understand that he had committed a great offense. So Narayana told him, go to Maharaj Ambarish. I'm not independent. I always depend on my devotees. That's why I cannot forgive you. So when you offend a devotee, you know, then the Lord will not forgive unless and until that devotee forgives. So if you've offended a devotee, go to the devotee and beg for forgiveness. Like this. Many examples in our everyday life. And in every life, I mean. So he flew back. He returned to Maharaj Ambarish's abode. And Maharaj Ambarish imagined for a year that was happening, going on for a year. So he was fasting for another year. That was another yuga, Satya Yuga, golden age. So living force was not in the grains like now. If we don't take grains, like today's Ekadashi, we're a bit weak. So, but in previous years, living force was in the bones. So you could fast a long time, and living force was still in the bones. So Maharaj Ambarish, although fasting before that for Ekadashi for a year, for another year, he was with folded hands, looking for, waiting for his guest to return. It's my great misdeed, he was thinking. My guest became disturbed because of my action. He was considering him guilty. Devotee is so humble. The more humility one has, the more devotion one has. That is the direct proportion. So Maharaj Ambarish was very miserable. Really, he was feeling pain that because of his actions, misdeeds as he was thinking, Durvasa Muni faced such a calamity. So finally Durvasa returned. And Maharaj Ambarish also was very much ashamed. He said, then still Sudarshana Chakra was following Durvasa. So then Maharaj Ambarish started petitioning Sudarshana Chakra. He said, "Oh Sudarshana Chakra, you're fire, you're the most powerful sun, and you're the moon, the master of all luminaries. That's the highest weapon of Krishna, Sudarshana Chakra. You're water, earth and sky, you're the air, you're the five sense objects, and you're the senses also. Yes. So, your religion, you're the truth, you're encouraging statements, you're sacrifice, you're the enjoyer of fruits of sacrifice, you're the maintainer of the entire universe, and you're the supreme transcendental prowess in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You're this original vision of the Lord, and therefore you are known as Sudarshan. Su means auspicious and Darshan means vision. So he was petitioning Sudarshana Chakra like this, by very eloquent words. We just quoted some. So when the king offered prayers to Sudarshana Chakra, because of those prayers of his pure devotee, Sudarshana became peaceful and stopped burning Durvasa. So actually that was the moment. Durvasa was forgiven. So the great, powerful mystic Durvasa said, "My dear king, today I have experienced the greatness of devotees of Supreme Personality. For although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune." Yeah. So our great fortune is what? When Vaishnavas pray for us. Vaishnavas means devotees of the Lord. They bestow their mercy upon us in that way, by their prayer. So we are very lucky people, really. We have come to the feet of great, great souls, great devotees, and they're constantly praying for us. Our beloved Gurudev, Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, you remember in some of his books, there was a reproduction of his handwriting to all devotees. I'm always praying that you achieve pure bhakti, pure devotional service. So Gurudev was always praying, and the beloved Vaishnava was always praying for us. So by their prayers, good fortune comes to us, not otherwise. So there's one song we may sing at the end, maybe, about that. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More, that song. So it speaks about that. So then Durvasa was forgiven. Actually, that day was the turning point for him. He became a devotee, actually. He was a jnani, a mystic before, but then he really became a devotee. He saw the power of the Vaishnavas. So the king respectfully received Durvasa Muni and begged him for, please take my prasad, please take my treat. So then Durvasa Muni took prasad and then asked for the king, "Oh, now please you take your meal," because he was really exhausted after so long fast, such a long fast. So Durvasa said, "I'm very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, but later I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. So therefore, simply by seeing you, touching your feet, and talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you." Just leave it open. So then Durvasa Muni left the place of Maharaj Ambarish, and thus he continued his path. So we can see the glorious character of Maharaj Ambarish, who was worshipping the Lord. We're taking his example. And on Ekadashi, great blessings of Ekadashi Devi, of great saints, great devotees coming to us. So if we follow Ekadashi diligently, if we glorify the Lord on the Ekadashi day, definitely Bhakti will come. Because as we sang in the first song, just before the class, Madhava-tithi Bhakti Janani, Madhava-tithi, the day of Madhava. Madhava means Krishna, the day of Lord Hari. This is not the day. This is Krishna himself, actually. Krishna fully enters this day. So if you think of Krishna on this day, there's a special channel activated. So this channel is filled with Lord's mercy. So in that channel you will receive huge mercy. If you give just one endeavor, you perform just one activity. It doesn't matter if you perform 64 or 9 or just one. So you chant, for example, yeah? You chant on beads. So, or you hear about Krishna, or you remember Krishna, or even you watch a movie about Krishna, or read a book about Krishna, something with Krishna, then definitely that channel will bring you great flow of mercy, much more than even you can expect. That is the power of Shri Ekadasi-devi ki jai, Shri Ekadasi-tithi ki jai, Ekadasi Palan Kori Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Oh, finally, I forgot one thing. Today's Ekadashi is special. It is called Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. So on this day, Bhim, strong, the strongest of the Pandavas, the brother of Yudhishthira and Arjuna, Nakula Sahib. So Pandavas were following Ekadashi, but Bhim could not, because Bhim was so strong. He needed so much fuel, rice and dal and everything, for maintaining of his strength. So he said to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, I really cannot follow Ekadashi every fortnight, every 2 weeks." And Krishna said, "Okay, Bhima, you follow once a year on this Nirjal Ekadashi. It's called Pandava Ekadashi now. Then it will neutralize all the mistakes you made, or all disqualifications, all imperfections that you were involved in during the previous year. And then all those sins will be nullified." So some devotees, then they said, "Okay, then I agree. Once a year, Bhima was fasting, but without water. Because before, Ekadashi was always dry, right? Nirjal. Nirjal means without water. Yeah? And also some rules, on the Dashami day, 10th day, you take prasad only one time at midday, then you start fasting, then you don't sleep at night, you hear about Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote his Chamatkar Chandrika, especially for those who are vigilant on Ekadashi night, so that they can hear funny stories about Krishna and then don't fall asleep. So not sleeping also one principle. On Ekadashi, Grihastas should maintain celibacy, what to speak of all others. Not to be engaged in like heavy work, some business trips and better to abstain from that if possible. Not possible, then okay, some adjustments, but not cutting your nails, not cutting your hair on Ekadashi, like this, not shaving if possible, like this. So Then on Dvadashi, also another night not sleeping. And the Dvadashi morning, breaking Ekadashi with some water, continue fasting till midday. At midday, take some prasad, like this. So, so Bhima was following that once a year, but some devotees were not really understanding the meaning of the story, thinking that, oh, anyone, not only Bhima, anyone could neutralize some improper following of Ekadashi, breaking of some Ekadashi during the previous year. So, and they use that and they speculate on that. That is not proper way. Gurudev was stressing that actually Pandava Ekadashi is an ordinary Ekadashi. There's nothing special for us in Pandava Ekadashi. So we just respect Ekadashi Devi as usual. We don't think that, oh, if I improperly followed the Ekadashi during the previous year, I can nullify the effects by fasting on this day. No, we don't think like this. So rather we just celebrate that as another Ekadashi, and we are busy in our life, we work, we do so many activities, it requires energy, so there's a concession. You can take anukalpa. Anukalpa means some proper food which is not contradicting to the principles of Ekadashi, some fruit, some roots like a potato, etc., and some limited amount of vegetables like cucumbers and this and that, and peanuts and all kinds of nuts actually. Some milk, it's possible, some butter, like this, but no grains, no grains. So Shri Ekadasi-tithi ki jai, Shri Maharaj Ambarisha ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Gudiyar Guruvarga ki jai, Paramaraditum Gurupad Padma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. If you have any questions, most welcome to ask. And don't be shy. Got some
I did
questions?
have one.
Yeah.
So, devotion, saying, can obviously get you close to God.
Yeah.
So, in Mahabharata, obviously, Arjuna, they didn't, from what I've read, obviously you can correct me, devote in the same way. Obviously, they had their responsibilities, they had their families, obviously, they still came it.
Yes.
So, how did they?
Well, by unconditional surrender, you have family, it doesn't mean you cannot practice devotion. No. Most people have families. And Arjuna and his brothers, Pandavas, they had one wife, Draupadi. But Draupadi was so close to Krishna, she was such a devotee. Krishna was calling her Sakhi, like a female friend. So in the family, if your wife is a devotee, oh, that's great. You can become better devotee if she's a strong devotee. So there's a loving competition, who is serving better, in the family and then kids in that mode. Our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, great Acharya, he lived in 19th, beginning of 20th century. He had 13 children, 13, 1-3. Many more than most of us have, if we have at all. But he's called 7th Goswami, because there are 6 Goswamis, you can see them. Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, 6. But they lived in like 16th century, mostly. And Bhaktivinoda lived in 19th. But he is called 7th Goswami. Why? Because the mood of his heart, the strength of his devotion. He was a grihasta. He was a family man. But he was also, a city magistrate, a high court. So he was working for 6 hours every day with some lunch break. He was doing all of his things very quickly, like tick, 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 huge amount of things, because he was devotee of Krishna. If you're devotee of Krishna, you see the core of things immediately. Your attention is one-pointed. You don't waste time. So he was doing amazing amount of activities in those 6 hours. And then when he was coming from his job home, he was resting maybe 1.5 hours, sleeping. And then about 10, he was waking up. And all night he was chanting the holy names. All night when everything's silent, he was writing his books. He wrote about 100 books roughly. his songs, most songs we sing, like Shuddha Bhakata Charanarana, and the one we will sing now, they are all written by him, most of them written by him, Bhaktivinoda. He was 7th Goswami and father of 13 children. Then certainly he renounced completely, like Babaji, in his old age, and he passed away in 1914. So he's like an architect of all our Sangha, Gaudiya Math, great Sangha, from which ISKCON later evolved. So that's the example how a family man can become very deeply Krishna conscious. So no harm, If you're grihastha, if you're a family man, then be devotional. Most people are family people. There's nothing special. Not necessarily you have to take sannyas or go live in Vrindavan. It's not easy. It's actually easy, for those who are keen in doing that, for those who are qualified. It's very, very easy. What's the difficulty chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra all day? It's beautiful, blissful engagement, Who could ask for more? It's the best. But the mind, the whole thing is with the mind, and the material desires cultivated by the mind. You can be staying in Vrindavan and still thinking of all your places and your desires, and I want to do this, so many things. So don't be a pretender. Rather be a family man and gradually, nicely do devotion according to your capacity. Don't jump over your capacity. You can do 1%, 0.5%, do, but nicely do. What you can do nicely, do. But start from Ekadashi, okay? So when you chant constantly, then it's very good. Like you can chant 1 round a day, we can help you. Start chanting, the boys will help you. It's a nice engagement. So Purushottam came first, and all of them came through him. And I remember from very beginning, 16, 17, those years. Then they came through COVID, they were strong during COVID. We were in separation. But then anyway, we met again. Right. So life can bring its own challenges, this and that and this and that. The main thing, the core of what we're doing, is internal. And, according to karma, this movie of life, is going, you look outside the window, what's going on? Transport, helicopter, this, that, football, that's it. People beating each other, competing, get off my territory. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, all those things. Drama, then creating movies about that. Movie within the movie. Movie is the movie. Dream and the dream. You dream about your sleeping, dreaming. Like this. But the core, the red line of our life, we have to determine. Then you have shelter, which will not be affected by any external activities, because people are suffering in this world because they believe in this so-called reality and they have no shelter. So when the flow comes and carries you away, then you're unhappy because you don't know that this is just temporary manifestation, like illusory, we can say, manifestation. It doesn't really affect your relationship with the Supreme. It doesn't affect. But your relationship with the Supreme is the main thing. This is all actually this life is about. That all the other things are just secondary and temporary. So sort out what is eternal, what is most important, and what is secondary, temporary. Where is Rasaraj? What doing? Still cutting cucumbers. Rasaraj! I came. What doing? Not listening to anything. What? Cutting cucumbers for 3 hours. How many cucumbers cut? All right. Okay, thank you so much. Any more questions? Your name? Atma Vidya. I heard about you.
Oh. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful class. So this question comes from the first bhajan that we sang. And so I wanted to know what is the difference between material attachment and absorption in material objects.
Okay. So practically this is like cause and effect. So absorption in material objects brings attachment. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about the series of events happening one after another. Dhyato vishayam pumsam sangas teshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kaman kamat krodha vijayate. Krodha bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibhrama smriti bramshat buddhinasha buddhinasha pranashyati. 262, 263. Gita, you can look up later. So, dhyato vishayam pumsam, by observing the objects of the sense, contemplating the objects of the senses, attachment is created. Attachment. Sangha. By attachment, sangaste shapada, sangaste kama, lust. So if you touch something, then you get burnt. That's the effect. You touch, then you get burnt. So when you observe something, absorbed in something, like contemplate something, then attachment, and through attachment, lust. So the situation of lust. Understand? So you looked at some girl or boy, and then you fall in love. No, technically, speaking. So that's manifestation of, we have to recognize, boys, don't be shocked. Manifestation of Maya, and manifestation of illusion, we can say. For boys, a girl, and for girls, a boy. That's how it's created. Everybody's singing about that, But that's just, what they're singing is all about, like, what's that? Deer is fascinated by the flute player of a hunter. The hunter is very keen on playing flute, attracting the deer. And the deer comes and gets caught. Nice music, but as a result, you get what? Victimized. Then, sangaste shapajaya, sangaste kamat kroda vijaya. And if you don't have that, then you become angry. Why don't I have my object of enjoyment? Little children is best example. Hysterical. They become, no, give me that particular toy, pistol with that. Oh, you brought me green one. You want a red one? Okay, that model. If you don't get that model, then you become hysterical. Okay, so anger. Krodat vijayate. Krodat is somewhat. Krodat bhavati sammoha. An illusion. From anger, illusion comes. Then you become obsessed. After you're angry, then becomes, I have to get that, have to get that. I don't get no satisfaction, but then, keep on trying, and go for it again and again. That's what sammoha, illusion. Sammoha, smriti bramsha. Smriti bramsha means a loss of memory. You forget who you are, where are you going, But also, I used to listen all of your songs before, But one of the classical songs was called Heroine, I don't know where I'm going. It's called, but I want to try for the kingdom if I can. You see? So it's very handy. I couldn't think that rock and roll is so handy sometimes, explaining all this. Yeah, so this is called Smriti Bramsha. Yeah, forgetful, loss of memory. Smriti Bramsha, Buddhinasha, then you lose your intelligence. Buddhinasha pranashyati. After you lose your intelligence, you become destroyed. Like, soul is never destroyed, but you become like a complete loser. Complete. Like a drunkard in a puddle, Drunken in the puddle. There's an English saying, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance, bliss. Are you forgetful? I'm happy, But a swine is also happy. If you drink wine, you become a swine. So then you completely forget. Well, there's a story about Indra, Indra, king of heaven, and he disrespected his guru, Brihaspati. And Brihaspati cursed him, you swine, you become a pig. So then Indra became a pig, and the throne of Indra became empty. So Brahma, the head personality in this universe, became very much disturbed. What's going on? throne of Indra is empty and the affairs are not going on nicely. So then, what to do? So, okay, time is coming. He's still in the pig bin, enjoying with his family, with his little children, wives, and his fresh stool is brought constantly. Once I was in a village, like it was a religious village, but anyway, Christian village. But anyway, they keep pigs. I remember the smell. Just but sometimes it's good experience what it smells like in this world. So then Indra the pig was there, and then Brahma. Okay, he arranged for sequence of events. Then they became very fat and healthy and ready to be sacrificed. So the owner came with big knife, and that he was the witness, and he cut his wives, he cut his children, and he cut finally himself. And then Indra regained his celestial body, and he was amazed how powerful Maya is. So Maya illusion, no joke. If you start joking, it's like a shark, Maya is like a shark. You start playing tips of your fingers, then the whole hand will be bitten off. Have you seen in Jagannath Puri? Have you been? In Jagannath Puri, there are pearl catchers, those people who catch pearls, So sometimes they have no hands because of sharks. So Maya is like this, so be careful. We have to be careful. I'm preaching to myself, especially in position, so I have to maintain Maya away. The further away, but it's very easy. You observe Ekadashi and you're with Krishna. Haribol, thank you so much. And we can sing the last song. We were talking about Kabe Shri Chaitanya Morya Kare Udaya. Tell the page. 75. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing here about beloved Vaishnavas. When will I attain the shade of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas? Bitterly weeping, I shall relay all my miseries and beg for the relief from the blazing fire of material existence. When the venerable Vaishnavas hear of my sufferings, they will appeal to Sri Krishna profusely on my behalf. In response to the Vaishnavas' prayers, the all-merciful Sri Krishna will become compassionate upon this wicked person. Yes, so we're praying to the Vaishnavas in this song. Just one moment. Kabe Shri Chaitanya Mara. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Karibe Udaya. Ananta Karatali Vaishnava. Kabe Ami Pai Vovai Vaishnava Padacha Shadetu. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Karibe Nadoya Kabe Ami Pai Vaishnava Padacha Kabe Ami Chari Vai Vishaya Bhimana Kabe Vishnu Jane Ami Koribo Sama. Louder. Kabe Ami Chari Vai Vishaya Bhimana Kabe Vishnu Jane Ami Gala Vastra Kritanjali Vaishnava Nikate Dante Katrina Kori Danda Ibo Nishkapati Kandiya Kandiya Jana Ibo Dukha Brahma Samsarayana Lahoite Magibo Vishna Kandiya Kandiya Jana Ibo Dukha Brahma Shuniyaya Maradukha Vaishnava Thakura Kamalagi Krishneya Vidivena Prachura Shuniyaya Maradukha Vaishnava Vaishnavera Vedane Krishna Daya Moya He no Pamara Prati Abena Sada Vaishnavera Vedane Krishna Daya Moya Vinodera Nivedana Vaishnava Charane Kripa Kori Sange Laho Ehi Akinchane Vinodera Nivedana Vaishnava Charane Kori Sange Laho Eha Kinchana Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Kari Bena Doya Kabe Ami Pai Bo Vaishnava Padachaya Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Kori Bena Doya Kabe Ami Pai Bo Vaishnava Padachaya Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Shri Ekadasi-tithi ki jai, Madhava-tithi ki jai, Panuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Paramarajam Guru Patma ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Shri Rasaraj Dham ki jai. Thanks so much for Rasaraj Prabhu and family. Thank you very much for being present on this Ekadashi day. And so great thanks also for all devotees like London area. We can consider 4 programs we are having this time today here. So tomorrow we're moving to the south coast to Hastings, and there will be 2 broadcasts from there. Those who want to participate, please take our cards, and broadcast link is there. So after that there will be programs in Crawley Down, East Sussex, and then again Watford at Raghunath Prabhu's the following weekend. 2 last programs, 14th and 15th. So we'll see again. Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhaktivedanta Sadhu Maharaj ki
Jai. Bhagavad Prasadam ki jai. Radhe Radhe. Okay.